The Spurs News Roundup with me, Harry Scarfe, provide you the latest Tottenham news all in one place, including full analysis and opinions of my own on all the stories discussed. So the first part of the video will be your headlines from Tottenham in the last 24 hours, including transfer window updates. Second part of the video, we really dissecting them, getting you involved and a full analysis on every single story. If you're new, like and subscribe. Let's get straight into it with your headlines in the last 24 hours. Firstly, news regarding the Super Cup final, and that is PSG midfielder João Neves will miss the game against Tottenham Hotspur on Wednesday due to suspension. Stoke manager Mark Robins is already a big fan of Tottenham loanee Jamie Donnelly and has been open about it. He said class. He's class, really class. Stoke fans will be thinking back to the players that they might be able to relate him to. I know I do. He looks a lot like Charlie Adam in some of the things that he does. And if he can live up to that, then fantastic. He's his own man. He's Jamie Donnelly. Fabrizio Romano, Italian journalist, reports that Tottenham opened club-to-club talks to sign Savinho from Manchester City. Negotiations ongoing between Spurs and City. Savinho is open to the move if the clubs can agree on a fee. Thomas Frank has identified Savinho as an ideal target. Thomas Frank was asked whether he's any closer to appointing a new Tottenham Hotspur club captain after Heung-min Son's departure. Frank replied by saying closer, yes, but I haven't taken a decision as yet. No decision as yet. On this day in 1997, David Ginola and Les Ferdinand made their debuts for Tottenham Hotspur. Matteo Morento reports that Manchester City didn't want Savinho to leave, but if a very big and high offer comes in, they could let it happen. Tottenham going strong for the player. Thomas Frank was asked whether striker Dominic Solanke will be fit for the start of the Premier League season. He replied, yes, that's what we hope for. Next, Fabrizio Romano reports that Coney de Winter has turned down Tottenham and also Inter and Galatasaray to join AC Milan. Thomas Frank states there's a lot of work to be done at Tottenham. He said, how much is going to change at the club, I'm a little in doubt of, but Venai has come in and he's clearly going to be an important part. All the talks I've had with him, he comes across well. He's going to be an integral part of our success going forward. I have a good feeling that we have a good opportunity for, I don't want to say change, but just act. They won the first trophy, we're in the Champions League, but we need to build. As I said in the first press conference, we're now in 2025. 6 years ago, we were able to compete in all competitions, and that is what we need to do. The competition has only become more difficult. There's a lot of work we need to do to get back up there. Future Tottenham striker, 17-year-old Mason Malaya, is making waves in the League of Ireland. Tonight versus Glasgow Rovers, he got man of the match performance, 2 goals, 92% pass accuracy, 100% successful take-ons, 100% tackles won, and 6 out of 9 ground duels won. Fabrizio Romano was asked whether Eberechi Eze is also a target for Tottenham Hotspur alongside North London rivals Arsenal. Fabrizio Romano's reply was he's always been on Tottenham's list, so for sure he remains of interest. Both Dominic Solanke and Destiny Udogie have both been named in Tottenham's 22-man squad for the Super Cup final on Wednesday, despite missing previous pre-season games through injury. We'll get onto the 22-man squad in just a little bit, but on this day in 2020, pure Emil Højbjerg midfielder joined Tottenham from Southampton. Next, the report from The Independent states that Manchester City want to keep Savinho and believe he is worth much more than a mooted €50 million price. The winger is also yet to say he wants to leave Manchester City. So the Super Cup final is getting closer, and here's Tottenham's 22-man squad for the PSG game on Wednesday. Spurs had to submit their squad to last week to UEFA, which they did. So goalkeepers, there's 3, Guglielmo Vicario, Anton Kinski, Brandon Austin. Defenders taken are Pedro Porro, Jed Spence, Christian Romero, Mickey van der Ven, Kevin Danso, Destiny Udogie and Ben Davis. Midfielders, João Palhinha, Yves Bissouma, Archie Gray, Rodrigo Bentancur, Lucas Bergvall and Pat Matassar. Attackers Mohamed Kudus, Brennan Johnson, Wilson Odobert, Matthias Tell, Richarlison and Dominic Solanke. ESPN next report that Manchester City are reluctant to sanction Savinho's departure. City do not want to lose the Brazilian. The 21-year-old will have to push to leave if he wants a move to happen. Fabrizio Romano provides a further update on Savinho and Tottenham exclusive story, saying the first proposal has already been sent by Spurs, which is worth €50 million, and Man City want more. Negotiations ongoing with City, who are open to selling, as Savinho is keen on the move, but only at Manchester City's conditions. The deal, though, is absolutely on, the words of Fabrizio Romano. The Super Cup final, if it goes level, the scores are, after normal time, the match will go straight to a penalty shootout. No extra time will be played. Fabrizio Romano spoke about Savinho to Tottenham, saying, to give you my feeling, I think this deal could be done for something around £17 million. That could be a possibility. Telegraph Football report that Manchester City have given Tottenham some encouragement, at least, that a deal could be done for Savinho. Thomas Frank is really pushing for Tottenham to sign Savinho, reports Fabrizio Romano. Next, Fabrizio Romano says that Tottenham have placed a bid of €50 million, that's 5-0, for Savinho. Manchester City wants €70 million. The player is very keen on the move. He wants to play every game and wants to feel important again. Personal terms will not be an issue. Thomas Frank is really pushing for Tottenham to sign him. Frank wants the player at Spurs. Tottenham are on it, and I have a feeling this deal could get done. Next, a report from Sasha Tavioli of Sky Sports reports that Manchester City has entered races to sign Xavi Simons with the likely departure of Tottenham transfer target Savinho to Tottenham. Guglielmo Vicario spoke about Ange Postecoglou's sacking recently, saying, "I text Ange when I heard the news. I'll always be linked to him because we created history on that night. He was the manager on that special night when we lifted that trophy. I could just say lovely words about him. He's a great character and he gave me the opportunity to play in the Premier League and confidence in my abilities to be the first choice goalkeeper. I'll be thankful for that my whole life." Luka Vuskovic and Dane Scarlett were not part of Thomas Frank's 22-man squad selected for the Super Cup final on Wednesday. Source Fabrice Hawkins reports that Donnarumma is not in the PSG squad for the UEFA Super Cup due to transfer rumours. Next, rumoured Tottenham transfer target Nico Passer spoke about returning to Real Madrid. He said, "You never know. I'm focused on Como, which is where I have to be. I have no idea about my future. I don't even know what I'll do tomorrow." The Daily Telegraph report Newcastle United hold a strong interest in rumoured Tottenham transfer target and winger Bayo El Khanous from Leicester City. The Moroccan has a relegation release clause and is also attracting interest from other Premier League clubs, including Leeds United, in this summer window. And last but not least, Time Sport report that Tottenham want to sign a creative midfielder as well as Savinho. They don't want to stop there. They've also opened talks for Savinho, but before the transfer window shuts, they want to get in another creative player. Those are your Tottenham headlines in the last 24 hours. Let's go through them and dissect them. Which should we start with? So, Super Cup final team news. Big boost for Tottenham that both Raul Neves and Donnarumma will miss the game. Neves through suspension and Donnarumma, assumably anyway, due to transfer rumours linking him for a move to actually the Premier League to Manchester United, I do believe. So that's a big blow for PSG and a big boost for Tottenham. I think we still are, not favourites, let's say. The underdogs is the word I'm looking for, and PSG are the clear favourites. However, the fact that PSG haven't had a proper pre-season, the Club World Cup was their pre-season, and so the fact we should be fitter, missing a couple of players, gives you some confidence. Jamie Donnelly, the star of the Tottenham loan watch, if you like, over the weekend of Championship player, Championship League One, Scottish Premiership, etc. Players playing on loan from Tottenham. Donnelly, for me, was the one that stood out. If I'm totally honest with you, I was really impressed with him. Very good, and Mark Robins very open about how good he's been. So that's really good to hear. Savinho, the news took me by surprise. I'd be really happy with it. I think it'd be a sign of intent from Tottenham. I don't want to get too excited because I just think when was the last time Tottenham signed a big player from a big club? So although I secretly am excited, I'm just trying to remain calm until it's done, because we saw what happened with the last bombshell with Morgan Gibbs-White, let's just say. But this come really unexpectedly. I just find it baffling how City will let, potentially anyway, Savinho, McAtee and Grealish all leave in the same window. That for me suggests that Man City will go for someone like a Rodrigo of Real Madrid or dive into the attacking market, the forward line kind of market in the rest of the window in some way, shape or form. Of course, City, unbelievable depth, Marmoush, Doku, Oscar Bob returning, Shirky, who they've signed, Bernardo Silva. In terms of attacking output, they still look good, but they are thinner on the ground than they have been in previous years, such as last season. So I'm surprised. I don't think they want to let Savinho go. I think Man City will make this difficult, maybe drag out for a few days at least. Tottenham will be very keen to get it done, I'm sure, before Burnley at the weekend. So I think see City dragging it out a little bit, and moves like McAtee and Grealish maybe holding it up slightly. But it would be a really good move, I think. A sign of intent, especially if we can go and get another 10 as well. But Savinho, I see, is mainly a left winger, hopefully at Tottenham. Played mainly on the right for Man City. Not many goals, but got a lot of assists. Girona, who played on the left, got more goals, but less assists. That's quite funny. Can also play the 10, but I see him as more on the winger. And if you have a forward line, hypothetically, of Solanke, Kudus and Savinho, that's a big upgrade in my opinion anyway, hypothetically, as I said, on last season. So I'm all for that. Heung-min Son's departure has left obviously the conversation about who's going to be the Tottenham captain. Frank saying the decision's closer, but has not taken a decision yet. I'd be very surprised if it's not Christian Romero. It seems like the easy option and probably the right option. Do you have any in mind, anyone you want to be Tottenham captain other than Romero? If you do, please let me know in the comments below. What else have we got? Yeah, we've obviously got more Savinho news, which is looking positive. Frank provided, Fabrizio Romano providing a lot of updates on him, saying that a bid's already been sent, €50 million. Pierre-Emile Højbjerg, I think he's massively underrated during this day. On 2020, joined the club, so 5 years ago. I think he was very good and finally got that kind of, not replacement, but someone like him in a Paolini. You need the typical six that does the dirty work, the unrecognised work off the ball, and that certainly was Højbjerg. Of course, didn't have the ability to play an Ange Postecoglou's system. I do recognise that. Thomas Frank was asked about Solanke would be fit or not for the Premier League season. He said yes. Well, that's good because he's now in the PSG squad. That's a further update. Coney De Winter's turned down Tottenham. He wants to join AC Milan. Fair enough, getting rejected left, right and centre at this rate. Thomas Frank, really interested about what he's saying about work to do at Tottenham. Sometimes I find him hard to understand, so I don't know what he's saying. He's kind of saying the club need to act to compete on all fronts, is what I got from that anyway, and if so, he's absolutely right. At the moment, isn't being given the tools. Savinho does change that a little bit. We can't win the Premier League or Champions League. I'll say it again, if we have a wage structure that doesn't align with other top six clubs. Simple as that, and that's to do with transfers. Fabrizio Romano keeping the Eberechi as a outside possibility about Tottenham signing him alive, which is just enough for me. As of now, that'd be an absolute dream, especially to hijack Arsenal's deal. 22-man squad to take to the Super Cup final. I mean, it's not bad at all, but I think we desperately need more. That midfield's weak, and even just like centre-backs, the only centre-backs taken are three, in Christian Romero, Mickey van der Ven and Kevin Danso, so we need a lot of reinforcement in lots of different areas. There's still more to do in the window. Not millions, not lots. We don't need 4 or 5 players. 1 or 2 after Savinho would be absolutely lovely. Good that there's no extra time as well. If the Super Cup final does get there, if Tottenham can somehow hold out for that long, that is really big news, because with the season coming with Burnley at the weekend, I mean, you're lucky. Liverpool and Palace are lucky with the Community Shield final being quite a bit before the Super Cup final. So Fabrizio Romano said he's got, I think, deal could be done. He's confident for around £70 million. When Fabrizio's confident, it gives you confidence that the deal's going to be done. Let me absolutely tell you that. No surprise, City already eyeing up replacements. Rodrigo, Xavi Simons among the names discussed. Lovely message from Vicario about Ange Postecoglou, who will always go down in Tottenham history. Vicario absolutely gets it. Could be more thankful to Ange. But my first trophy as a Tottenham fan. Big boost has said about the team news of Donnarumma as well. Just going through the story here, it looks like it's going to be true, so that's absolutely huge. Nico Pass, don't think he's going to join Tottenham. It's Kobo, and then eventually Real Madrid, isn't it? Long-term future. He's not denying that at all. El Canu think there's rumours will be shut down and just kind of end once Savinho gets over the line. If it does get over the line, I can see Newcastle United sign him. They seem to be interested in everyone. And I really am happy that the Times Sport reporting that Tottenham want to sign another creative midfielder as well as Savinho. That is ambition. I've criticised the board a lot, the hierarchy, the recruitment team, Johan Lange, Daniel Levy as well in particular. But that would be real intent if we go up and beyond just Savinho and go inside a 10 as well. You can't fault that. That is slowly but surely giving Frank the tools. But that is your Tottenham headlines the last 24 hours for your daily Spurs roundup. I hope you enjoy these new series to the channel, because I'm certainly enjoying delivering them, so I hope you enjoy watching them. If you're new, like and subscribe, get involved in the comments below. Anything that I mentioned, would you agree with me on, would you disagree with me on, and also anything in terms of headlines discussed in the video. Come back tomorrow for the Spurs news roundup to keep up to date with the latest Tottenham news all in one place, including full analysis.